must say I was compelled to hold this news conference today because this may be the only way I get my gift to Congressman Dan Burton. I don't know about you all, but I have not been able to find Congressman Dan Burton on the campaign trail this year. In fact, he made a statement to the Marion Chronicle Tribune a couple of weeks ago that he was not going to campaign at all. He was going to run his television commercials and let the voters have their will. And so, in the spirit of trying to communicate with the congressman as directly as possible, I have to do it through the news media. And if I can't find him today, I will try to make sure that one of you gets this so that you can give it to him in person. And today, I am giving to the congressman, as a retirement gift, a copy of the book, Gulf's Best New Destinations. And within that book, I have also included a one-way ticket from Washington, D.C. to California for early January of 2011. And I hope with this ticket, Congressman Burton can go and visit some of the golf courses, many of which he's probably already visited, and enjoy a well-deserved retirement. Now, this would be funny, except for it highlights a complete lack of leadership by Congressman Burton during the greatest recession in the past 70 years. We have developed a scorecard here, which I'd like to go over very briefly with you, that talks about his record in 5 different areas. We put it in the form of a golf scorecard because we thought the congressman would be able to understand this very readily. And so if we have a few seconds, we'll go over this. On leadership, our congressman deserves a bogey on leadership. During the greatest recession in 70 years, our congressman has done absolutely nothing to produce a single job here in the state of Indiana. In fact, the closest he's coming to producing jobs was in 1999 when he authored the Caddy Relief Act of 1999. Unfortunately, thankfully, that bill did not pass. On ethics, Congressman Burton deserves a double bogey. He was the only member of Congress to vote against the ethics rules reform in 2006. Results, he deserves a bogey. Once again, he has done nothing in the course of 30 years to produce a single job here in Indiana. And I will contrast that with my record, the 2006 Telecom Deregulation Act, which in just 3 years produced $1.5 billion of private investment, 2,500 new jobs, and 4,000 to 6,000 jobs saved. Those are numbers from the IEDC, they're not my own numbers. And maybe the greatest net result of the Telecommunications Act has been that we now have 102 more communities that have access to broadband that didn't have it in 2006. Anybody who comes from a small town here in Indiana knows that the only way small town Indiana will survive is through access to technology. Voting. We have often said that Congressman Burton votes fairly conservatively, and that's true. But I'd like to highlight one vote, one effort that I think flies right in the face of Indiana's best interests, Hoosier culture, and the great agribusiness and agriculture tradition we have here in the state of Indiana. And that is the Conyers-Burton bill, which is the second half of Congressman Burton's attempt to outlaw all transportation of horses, all sale of horses for production at the end of their lives. Congressman Burton has become the poster child of the Humane Society of the United States. He's their superhero. He gets an A+ rating with them. And he has been holding fundraisers in Hollywood with the wife of Mr. T. Boone Pickens to highlight his involvement with the Humane Society of the United States. And let us be clear, the Humane Society of the United States is not this group that takes care of your stray puppies in Hamilton County. It's the group whose stated goal is outlawing all animal agriculture in the United States of America. Let's go to government oversight. As chairman of the Government Oversight Committee in the U.S. Congress, Dan Burton wasted an opportunity to lead. Instead of using the Government Oversight Committee chairmanship to make government smaller, more efficient, more responsive, he spent $35 million of federal taxpayer money and issued 1,100 subpoenas to investigate the private life of Bill Clinton, which, quite frankly, we could have seen anything we wanted to know about Bill Clinton's private life on Entertainment Tonight for free. And also to investigate whether the director of the White House Travel Office had been murdered or committed suicide. His national news conference, shortly after his expensive investigation and his shooting of a watermelon with a high-powered rifle, earned him the nickname in the Washington media of Watermelon Dan, was just used 2 weeks ago in a major Washington Post article. Dan Burton has ridden the gravy train for 30 years. He's a gadfly. He carries no influence within his caucus. It's time to represent and to replace Dan Burton with someone who actually has a record of job creation, ethics reform, elimination of taxes, and responsiveness to the people of Indiana. Dan Burton's latest antics have included declaring that he will not be connected and will not be accountable to the people of Indiana. Let's contrast that with my own accessibility. Of the tens of thousands of door hangers I've handed out during this campaign, every single one has had my cell phone number on it. I expect people to call me. I ask people to call me. In fact, hundreds have called me to find out my views on the Indiana campaign. I invite your questions. Thank you.